If you've ever looked at your garden and if you've seen a precious plant of yours that was half eaten, that was curling, or that was crawling with bugs, you know how heartbreaking it can be. And while chemical pesticides might work fast to get rid of the problem, they do three things for your plant. They poison your soil over time, they kill helpful pollinators, and they are extremely dangerous around kids, pets, and vegetables. And this is why today I'm here to show you how to eliminate garden pests naturally using natural remedies that are safe, that are affordable, and that are incredibly effective. And we'll talk about what attracts bugs, how to repel them with plants, create homemade sprays, and set DIY traps that actually work. So let's dive in. Before we get started, if you're new here, welcome back to the channel. I'm Nora, and we do daily videos talking about plant care, about fertilizers, and also chicken keeping and quail keeping. So if you're interested in content such as this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon in order to be informed on all our new daily videos. So why do garden insects invade? So garden pests don't just appear randomly, they're actually attracted to specific conditions. So here's what's pulling them into your garden. They're here because of one of four things, or a combination of four things. Number one, because of soggy or overwatered soil, because the excess moisture works to attract fungus, gnats, root maggots, and even slugs. The eggs hatch in damp conditions, especially in pots that do not have any sort of drainage. They're also here because of reason number two, which is weak or stressed plants. Once plants lack nutrients or they've been transplanted recently, they emit distress signals. Yes, literally signals that show that they're under stress. And this works, and it also attracts pests like aphids and whiteflies. Also, reason number three is the lack of biodiversity. So if you are planting only one crop, like all tomatoes or all basils in one area, you're literally creating a buffet for these pests to come in. They multiply quickly when there is no there's no plant diversity to disrupt their cycle. So please be wary if you have an area that's designated to only one kind of plant. This could be a recipe for disaster. And the last reason number four, is rotting leaves or mulch buildup, because uncollected plant debris creates the perfect environment, the perfect habitat for things like eggs, larvae, and mold-loving bugs. So I would start pest control by removing their welcome mat, like literally pulling it away, improving the drainage, compost dead leaves, and diversify your plants. So let's talk about some natural remedies that I've used that have worked with me time and time again. And you do not need any toxic pesticides when plants, oils, and minerals can do the job way better. So I would just keep going to the plant store to get any of these pesticides and start with these wonderful four types of natural remedies that I've tried and tested to work amazing. Number one is the best one, the MVP neem oil. It disrupts the life cycle of over 200 insect species, and it's especially effective for aphids, whiteflies, spider mites, and thrips as well. It doesn't harm bees or butterflies when you use it properly, so it's not going to affect all these beautiful pollinators. And the way to do it is you use 1 teaspoon of cold pressed neem oil. You could buy it from Amazon or eBay or even iHerb or your local plant store. Even in pharmacies as well, they have neem oil. And you add in half a teaspoon of dish soap to 1 liter of warm water. And I would just mix it in a spray bottle, spray every 7 days, spray the stems, spray the leaves, and I would specifically focus on spraying under the leaves as well, because that's usually where the eggs are laid, and they're hidden away from sight. Also, the second type of remedy, which is also a spray, is a garlic chili spray, and this is amazing for insects that chew on plants, like think about beetles and caterpillars. So I would blend 4 garlic cloves and 1 hot chili, or if I don't have chili on hand, I would just simply use half a teaspoon of chili powder or cayenne pepper powder, and as well as 2 cups of water. I would let that sit overnight, just infuse overnight. Then in the morning I would just strain it, and then I would put it in a spray bottle and keep on spraying. The recipe number 3 is Diatomaceous earth and is a natural fossilized algae powder, and it is harmless to people, it's harmless to plants, and it shreds soft-bodied insects, so it helps get rid of ants, beetles, and slugs. And what you do is you slice lightly dust around plant bases and on soil, and I would avoid wet conditions and make sure not to breathe that in as well. Recipe number 4 is coffee grounds and wood ash. So what you do for this recipe is you sprinkle used coffee around the plants to repel ants, snails, and some beetles. And wood ash here is really important because it deters slugs and cutworms. As a bonus, both coffee and wood ash are rich in potassium and phosphorus as well. Let's talk about some garden rescue spray recipe that I rely on, and this is my absolute go-to spray for nearly everything from aphids to gnats to whiteflies. I use it for my outdoor plants, my indoor plants, and it consists of 4 main ingredients. Super simple, super easy. You would need 4 garlic cloves, 1 small chili, 2 cups of water, and 1 teaspoon of mild dish soap. Preferably, it's natural and biodegradable if you can. And how I would do it is I would go ahead and blend the garlic, the chili, and the water in either a food processor or a blender, and then I would let it steep for 12 hours. And then again, after the 12 hours is up, I would strain and mix in the soap, then pour onto a spray bottle, and you can use it early in the morning or late in the evening every 5 to 7 days. You use it on the leaves, you also use it on the stems, and especially the undersides, because this is where bugs hide. Now, don't spray it under direct sunlight because spraying it under direct sunlight would cause leaf burn, so I would avoid doing that. Now, with that being said, let's go to my DIY organic pest traps. And sprays are amazing for repelling the bugs, but traps, they are superheroes because they eliminate the active population. So my first trap is a fruit fly gnat trap, and you'll need a small jar or bowl. I would add in apple cider vinegar as well as 2 drops of dish soap, and I would cover with a plastic wrap. I would poke small holes and I place near moist pots or compost bins. And I've tried this time and time again, especially when I was in Finland in the springtime, in the autumn, as well as in the summer, sometimes when the fruit flies start coming in, and we live in small apartments, so it's always difficult to get them out and to get rid of them. We tried everything, but this fruit fly trap works amazing. Now let's talk about another trap that's specifically for ants, and it is an ant trap organic. So you mix equal parts sugar with equal parts baking soda, and you place in shallow lids along the trails, and ants carry it back to their nest. Baking soda kills them. Done. So safe around most pets, but I would still monitor closely around the pets and around the children as well. And let's talk about a slug and snail bee trap. Now, I haven't not tried this myself, but I'll go ahead and share it here on the channel for those who want to try it. So you sink a shallow container into the soil, you fill with beer or whatever alcohol you have, and the slugs work to crawl in and drown, and they are attracted by yeast scent. And I would try this, but rather than any sort of alcoholic drink, I would put in apple cider vinegar because of that. It's associated with that yeast scent as well. And let's talk about building insect-proof garden, because remember, we talked about the how to repel, how to get rid of, how to trap, but really what we need here is prevention, because prevention is key, and these strategies create a natural barrier that keeps the bugs from coming back. So first of all, my first strategy is companion planting, because it's amazing. So I would plant these near your crops. I would focus on marigolds. They're beautiful, and they also repel beetles and aphids. I would focus on planting mint next to basil because it works to deter fleas and mosquitoes. I would also plant in chives and garlic in between tomatoes because it protects them from aphids. And I would also plant lavender because it keeps moths and fleas away as well. Also, strategy number 2 is routine maintenance. And what I mean by that is just going in and maintaining your garden as much as possible. So removing dead leaves because bugs love nesting on dead leaves, pruning lower branches to improve airflow, and cutting out the mulch buildup near the plant stems. Also, strategy number 3 is water correctly, because we usually just go in and water. It's either, you know, too much or too little. There's no balance there. So I would water the soil. I would not water the leaves because wet leaves attract mildew and other pests as well. I would water only early in the morning to avoid nighttime moisture buildup, and I would make sure I would not overwater pots. And just use drainage holes as well. So with that being said, let's head to my weekly garden pest control routine. And I've used this exact system for over 3 years and it's kept my garden 95% pest free without a single chemical. So here's what I do every week. On Monday, I spray neem or garlic spray under the leaves. Thursday, I'd go ahead and I sprinkle diatomaceous earth around the plant bases. Saturday is my day for checking the leaves for eggs, for any chew marks, for any pest clusters. And Sunday, I would refresh vinegar traps, or I would add basil cuttings to containers, and that way they would, take about a week or two to root. And every 2 weeks, I would brew a new batch of garlic chili spray. Just around the same time, I would do meal prepping as well. And by staying consistent and observant and monitoring, tracking, making sure that your plants are okay, your plants will stay strong and the bugs would not stand a chance. So there you go. Nature already gave us everything that we need to protect our plants. We just need to go in and create the recipes and maintain and create a consistent schedule. You don't need poisons, you need garlic, you need neem, you need a little bit of knowledge, and you need a consistent routine. So comment below, what bugs are you struggling with the most? I'll also create a full video just for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great day. All the best.